Hey, this is Awais with EMiniPlayer.net, and in this video we go over the EMiniPlayer zones indicator for TradeStation. So the purpose of the indicator is to really simplify execution and visually plot the zones on the chart. So as discretionary traders, we have a lot of information that the market is already throwing at us, right? There are a lot of things to keep track of. And this just makes it a lot simpler to execute the trade plan and actually see the zones playing out visually on your charts in real time. At the same time, a lot of traders look at multiple time frames, and this is a quick way to get all the zones plotted on basically any time frame you want in TradeStation. So right now we're looking at 5-minute chart, but I also have this indicator on other time frames, and I don't use all of these, but this is just for an example's sake. So you can have it on 10-minute, 30-minute. You can see however far back you want and see how the zones have played out. So it can be a nice tool just for studying as well. And at the same time, you can zoom in, right? You can have it on the 1 minute. You can have it even on like a tick-based or a volume-based chart. Here's the 2500 volume chart. And it just makes it really easy to see the reactions that you're getting at the zones and simplifies execution and also serves as a reminder, right, throughout the day. Again, we have a lot of information that the market's throwing at us, and it's not that difficult to forget a zone or just kind of have the zone kind of skip your mind. By having it visually in front of you, it provides that visual cue that, hey, the market is running into support, right? It's an inflection point. It's somewhere that you have to make a decision. And by having it visually on the chart, it just makes it a lot easier. And that way you never forget that there was a support zone there or there was a resistance zone there, and you can act accordingly. So if we go into the indicator settings, we can quickly go over some of these. So first thing is in scaling, on the scaling tab, make sure that it is set to same axis as underlying data. Very important. If you don't have this, it's going to create another workspace or something under here, and it's not going to work right. Under inputs, the IGBX session variable, if you're using the @es.d symbol, which is regular trading hours only, then make sure this is set to false. And if you're using a 24-hour chart, which is the @es symbol in TradeStation, then you have to make sure this is set to true. Very important. In the iStart data column over here, you can see it's set to current date -5. This -5 is really what you need to focus on. This means that the indicator will go back 5 days and load the zones for the previous 5 calendar days. So if you want to look at more history and look at the last month, for example, of zones on your chart, then set that to something like -30 or -35. This one is the directory where all the files are located. So the indicator reads the zones from the text file that is provided every morning as part of the trade plan, right? So if we go over here, we can see that with every trade plan there is a zip file that's provided, right? The SR zones. So you have to download this, and then you have to copy or extract the text file and put it into the C EMiniPlayer folder. All right, and that's how the indicator knows what levels to actually print onto the chart. So going back to the settings, you don't really have to worry about the other settings. They really just control the visual aspect of how the zones get printed. So for example, over here, the resistance color is set to red. The support color is set to green. If you want to change that, you're more than welcome to, but these work out pretty well. And just make it very clear that one is support and the other is the resistance zone. And again, these other ones you don't really have to worry about. The only other color that you can change is the line in sand or the bull bear zone. That one by default is set to yellow. And that's basically it. There's really not a whole lot to it. Again, it's just a visual cue. And as discretionary traders, it's nice to have that on the chart. Just makes it much easier to visually see how the zones have been playing out. And as the price is approaching a support resistance zone, it just prepares the trader to make a decision, to take action. And overall, I think it's very, very helpful. So that's really how the indicator works out. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. But it is pretty straightforward. So I hope this helps your trading and helps you execute better.